All right. So I am being moved and led to begin talking about um, the journey, my journey at this time in my life. It's a very pivotal moment for me. I started this video here on YouTube or this channel, not sure why, and I'm still not, sure why. But I know that I'm being led to discuss, where I am, where I've been. And so here we are. I will say this that I have been cautious about talking about it for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm in a place, in a space that I gotta, keep myself safe and um, I can't be vulnerable. And also, when the space that I'm in and where I've been, um, thank God I had an understanding that it has been Him orchestrating everything that I'm going through. Thank you, God. I mean, really, thank you, God. And I also want to say thank you, while I got it on my mind, to those folks who have gone through a process like this and have been transparent about it, because there are folks, coming behind you, um, that it truly is helpful. It truly is helpful knowing that you got all the way through, and not only did you get all the way through, you got all the way through to greatness, man. So I appreciate it and I thank you for it. And eventually you will know who you are after I get through telling the stories. But the other side of it is, parts, there's been places in this, in especially this year, this part of the process where I am, that if I had talked too prematurely, and I still have to be very careful, then I sound like I could have sounded like a victim, and there's nothing about me that is a victim. I mean, I'm not gonna let you um, make me a victim. It's God has put so much fire in me, and to the place where now I'm learning to maintain it, and really um, nurture that thing and channel it properly. Like I don't like bullies and stuff. I've never been that one. I'm the little girl too, that well, I was right out of high school, and I remember telling a girlfriend of mine, she kept talking about a boss who was bullying her, and I was like, take her job. And I meant it. I was very, very serious. And my girlfriend took her job. Really, it's how it happened. It was no fight or anything. It's like God is amazing. So the woman left, and my girlfriend was promoted and placed in her position. And sometimes you just got to make your adjustments within, and not be the crybaby and be like, oh my God, but just stand right in position and let God do His work. And then there's sometimes you got to fight. But yeah, really, and they're actually friends and stuff now. So, but I'm like that, so I'm not gonna sit. But this has been a very tough place, and there were times, because God said that I would be letting go this year. I mean, really letting go of things, and it happened. I mean, my father, I had to let go of my father immediately. I knew 2018 was that it was that time. I got confirmation during what we call the blood moon, January 31st of 2018. I'm in prayer. I'm in a very high spiritual place with God in my bedroom, and I'm hearing the letting go. And the next morning, my father is checked up out of here. he's and he's made his change. And so that was it. And from that point on, it was stuff just dropping, people and things. And so the people, I mean, none of it has been easy, But there's been times when, relationships either had to shift and adjust, make their adjustments in my life, or not. I mean, completely, fall away. And those were sometimes heated changes and interactions and that sort of thing. And for the most part, it's been that way. And, when you're in it, you're going to sound, because it's your story, right? Your story. And, all you could see is what was done to you. And even, even if I talk about it now, it still I can get into, because I got my side of it, right? If things need to be healed, if there needs to be some conversation, I should say, about anything, you understand that there's two sides to every story, right? And there's some things that I probably, don't understand, or, that sort of thing. And that would come if there are people that I had to let go, because they're not for my next level. Not anything against them. They're not for my next level. And that if God wants wanted that relationship or those relationships to shift and change, and there was conversation, so I should say there would be communication, because there would need to be some communication or understanding. There would be some understanding, of course, for sure, for those things to come back. And they'll still always, I could tell you, every relationship that kind of, whether it's they're gone for good or everything has adjusted. Everything has changed because I'm changing. I'm in a different place. I call it a different sphere. I'm on the stratosphere. I really look at myself honestly right now. Not there, but I'm headed in towards the center of his will, center of earth. I'm looking at it like Zion. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not. And this is why if if you don't have a relationship with God, there's moments like this that you can lose it, because everybody and everything around you thinks that you've lost it, because it's so different. But biblically, I mean, if you're talking biblically, he sets you apart. You're peculiar. And that is a literal movement. I mean, I don't people realize that thing. You individually and collectively, and when it's your thing, it's isolation. It's it's aloneness. Not lonely, but you're alone, and you got to go through it. Um, um, and, all I can think about right now is my father, because my father gave me so much wisdom when it comes to relationship and not caring. And I've cared for too long, what people think and what they say. And being upset, sitting and talking with him, and baby, he, give me that assurance that it's all right. And so once he left up out of here, I had to just really go for it, go in for it, and and so I could say that's what the change really began. I mean, really started, when he was the first big drop this year. So let me back up. 2017, God told me that things would be, I would be letting go of things. So, what the conversation I had with him, if I gave you a visual of it, it would be like, because I'm getting ready to soar into my place, the thing that I'm supposed to really be doing here on earth, right? And not that everything that I've been doing hasn't played a part. Everything since the moment I took my first breath here on earth has played a part here. And I understand that my thing is hard and it's tough. I was run over by a truck at 2 by a man in a house that my father then would live in the end of his life. It was just so I was 2 years old. I used to ride my trike around my court, what we call a court, and there was a man who had a truck and he backed up and rolled over on top of me. I was raced to the hospital. They wouldn't let me look at myself for months because they thought I would actually be disfigured. My father raced me to the hospital. My father and mother, my nanny, across the street watching me get all rolled up. So I figured, man, they tried to take me out of two. Come on, man, you're a warrior. You're a survivor. You got things to do. And so I've always kind of had that energy with me. I went kind of way over there to, but anyway, 2017. Let me go back to that. Was the I'm on the runway, and these things get hard for me because I'm all over the place, y'all. But just listen. So anyway, I'm on a on the roadway here. So you know the plane on the runway, it's like that, getting ready to take off. And you know, you have little luggage. Well, I don't want that sort of thing. But then 2018, God said, this is, you're taking off. And so you know how the plane is like this? Well, you got to drop luggage. You got to, it's heavy. You got to let go so that you can soar. This is the last, this is it, man. This is it, Jill. Let go, let go. And those things that you can't let go, I'm taking from you. And that's what it's been like. So, because most of the relationships that needed to adjust, and this is normally how it is, unless you're just, you know, two people or a group of people, you know, that you just kind of in line and you're communicating, and you know it's time for you to make some changes, that kind of, none of that, it hasn't been that way at all for me. My relationships, they were just pulled out of my life or shifted, and that's what God was doing. So then if I start talking, but he did that in order for me to be right here where I am today. So that is why I'm going to stop here and then come back and have a little more focus. But that is why I have been hesitant about this conversation that I know I have to have, because there are things that I am learning about humanity, and I believe it's this next level of humanity that for me, you know, I know it's going to be very helpful along the way, but there may be others who are in similar situations, and they call it this dark night of the soul. Light workers, I mean, it resonates. I never called it that, you know. I never even considered myself a light worker, but I mean, we are the lights of this world, you know what I mean? And so I know God once told me I'm a generator. I had to look that thing up, and like, generator. I knew it was God, because what was a generator? I'm fasting. I was on a 40-day fast, and he said that. And that, if you look at a generator, it's when the lights go out. What does the generator do? You know? And so it's an energy source, right? So that's kind of how I operate. So here I am. And I may, forgive me, because I may have at moments trying to share this thing out sound like I'm blaming others, or, you know, and I hope not, because that is not what it's about at all. None of it. I mean, I'm very, very, very clear that it's not judgment on others, that, you know, others have their situations and even their stories, and so, you know, nothing against me. God God had to do all of this thing. And it's his setup. It is his setup. And so here I am, and it's all good. That's the beautiful part of it. It's so good. It's so good. Now I'm cold, but it's good. It's really good. All things work together for the good, and that is what it is. It's good. So I'm going to leave this here, and I know it's all over the place, and this would kind of be just the beginning of what I'm going to call the journey. And so here I am. Here I am. I'm ready to talk about this thing. All right. Be well. Be love. Peace.